Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. It's a great honor to have State Representative Ana Hernandez joining us today. We met when she was just a young student at the University of Houston, and it's been extraordinarily a delight to see her grow in her career, an attorney, as a mom, as a leader in our community, highly regarded and respected as a state representative, and on so many very influential committees in Austin, Texas. Representative Hernandez, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Murillo. I appreciate the invitation to join you today.
Absolutely. Well, you and your colleagues, our elected officials, have been out pounding those streets and making phone calls to make sure that our community in Houston and Harris County got their electricity, got food, power. Talk to us a little bit about what this means in terms of you going to Austin in January again. What message will you be conveying to the governor and your colleagues as it relates to making sure that Houston and Harris County have resources when the next disaster comes?
As state legislators, we are representing our communities, and it's important that as we go to Austin, that we advocate that our communities all have resources available to them, especially when an unexpected weather event occurs, as is what happened last week. That was definitely an unexpected weather event. We want to make sure that resources are available and at the community's disposal in a minute's notice, because it is needed to save lives. People depend on power, especially those that have medical needs, that their power be on. It's important for us to have those resources available for everyone.
Tell us about the committees you've been assigned to.
Oh, yes. So I am vice chair of the State Affairs Committee, and our purview, we also look at our power grid. And that is something that has been discussed a lot in the last few sessions to make sure, how do we make sure that our grid is resilient and reliable? And we want to make sure that people feel comfortable that whenever they need power, that it will be available. Of course, we have these weather events, as what happened last week, where power lines, transmission towers were damaged by the winds of the storm. But apart from that, from weather events, to make sure that we have a strong and resilient power grid throughout the state of Texas. And we are having a committee hearing coming up in a few weeks. As we prepare for the next legislative session, there will be several committee hearings where we will hear from the different stakeholders to make sure that we are doing everything we need to make sure that the power stays on.
What other committee are you serving on?
The other committee on which I serve is the Licensing and Administrative Procedures. So that committee deals with our occupational license. In the state of Texas, there are over 200 occupational licenses. If you think about realtors, if you think about cosmetology, real estate, plumbers, every occupational license. So there are over 200 of those. And so we hear from those industries to see what are the barriers for entry into those professions. And we want to make sure that we have sufficient workforce and that we have that pipeline and there aren't any barriers to make sure that those positions are filled, because that is important for our state's economy. We want people working and we want to make sure that we have a strong economy.
So the big topic in Houston, of course, is HISD. Tell us about the conversation you would like to have upon returning to Austin, Texas, with the governor and anyone else who might listen to you.
Last week, there was a very concerning news report that came out that indicated that perhaps some of our state public funds for our public schools were being sent out of state to Colorado to pay debts for charter schools in Colorado. And that is something extremely concerning, given the fact that, for instance, here at HISD, they are making budget cuts. And so those dollars should not be going out of state. Those dollars should be used for our students here at HISD. We have seen a lot of displeasure among the parents, among teachers, people in the education community on what's happening at HISD. And I shared that belief with them that we are not going down the right path with respect to our local school district, that we are not doing right by our children and providing them the best education that they can receive. And so that's definitely something that will be discussed in the next legislative session to make sure that our public school dollars stay in the state of Texas and those are going into our neighborhood schools to make sure that every child has access to a quality education.
Representative, is there anything else that's high on your agenda that you'd like to share with us?
I just want to encourage our community to get involved. There are lots of different opportunities for you to get involved, whether it's at the local level, which is whether it's at the school board or whether the state legislature or in federal government. There are laws that are being passed that impact you and your family, and you need to be engaged in that conversation. And if you don't know where to start, start by reaching out to the chamber or reach out to my office. And we want more people involved because that is how we're going to make sure that our community thrives and that everybody has that opportunity to succeed.
Well, we thank you for all that you and all of your colleagues do in Austin every day, not just when you're in session. We know it's a big sacrifice to you and your families. We are most appreciative. I'd also like to suggest to our entrepreneurs who are out there or individuals in the Houston-Harris County region, visit SBA.gov. There are loans available with as little as 4% in terms of paying back, and you have over 30 years to pay back. There's also programs, if you get denied, that you can reapply. You can go to centers in person where they'll sit down and walk you through the process, or you can go out online. There are resources available. Please take advantage of them. And again, Representative Hernandez, we wish you a great legislative session, and please know the Houston Hispanic Chamber is here to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Murillo.
Have a great day.